Welcome to 805 Focus. I'm Dr. Sandra Sinclair with Nonprofit Connect, and we will be bringing you the latest on your favorite nonprofits. So get ready to be inspired. Our special guest today is Linda Keifer, and Linda is with the Horse Project. All right, the Horse Project. I'm eager to hear about that. I bet some people don't know about it, and I know you're doing wonderful things with those sweet animals, mostly abused and neglected horses, right?
Right.
And so tell us about what you do for them, with them.
Well, it's not surprising people haven't heard about us. We've been around 10 years. We rehabilitate, rescue, rehome horses in need. We specialize in senior horses and horses that have some kind of rehabilitation issue that takes more time so that volunteers can give them that time and give them a second chance, particularly for horses that are going to be put down, that are in danger of being put down. We write grants and raise money to have a special fund so that if there's a horse in danger, we have the money to bring them in and start them on the path to getting well first and then finding a new home. But in June of this year, we always worked under other nonprofits, and we became our own California nonprofit.
501c3, hooray!
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well, we're working on. We're still working on the physical
Yeah.
sponsorship, but we are a California nonprofit working on our 501c3.
Good. Congratulations. That's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
So, how do you find the horses?
Well, it's not hard. There's many of them, and unfortunately, we can't get them all and take them all. Space, time, money in particular are the limitations. But when we became our own nonprofit, we changed our mission from rescue, rehabilitate, rehome, which we still do, but we expanded it to people helping horses, right? But horses helping people.
Horses helping people. All right. So tell us about that.
Well,
That's
we
a whole
found in the 10 years just volunteering with people who would come and visit, participate in the programs we have, that there's something about the horses, which has been called magic, but actually it's scientific based about horses, that when you're around them and you spend some time with them, you actually start to self-regulate, you start to calm. And it's been scientifically proven. The Heart and Math Institute has done all kinds of studies about it. And that they really, they also mirror what's going on inside you. They have these huge hearts, 10, 12 pounds. They've got an electromagnetic field that is 3 times greater than ours. And they're nonverbal, but their emotional IQ is much higher than ours. They feel what we're feeling.
Wow. So, okay, tell me how does that manifest itself? I mean, give me an example or something. How did you find this out?
Well, I didn't find it out. I mean, this is actually well known and studied, and in fact, they're working with war veterans who had severe PTSD. The healing effect of horses, the ability of the horses to start that healing process has been well documented. And so how we found it out is just by volunteering and experiencing it ourselves and seeing it, reading about it, seeing others. And then COVID changed everything for everybody.
Yeah.
We went down to a skeleton crew. We stopped all our programs with visitors coming and people spending time. But we had been starting to work with the horses with individuals who were having not even issues or problems, but even a question where they couldn't decide what they wanted to do. There was one woman who was trying to buy a house,
Yeah.
and she was a volunteer, and she just couldn't make up her mind, what she really wanted. And she went to like 50 different open houses. And so we did this work with the horses to help her decide. And there's a process that we went through where she went from one side of the round pen to the other. Yes, I should keep looking. No, I should forget about it and just try again some other time. And when she went to the maybe in the middle, she burst into tears.
Oh, golly.
And that was a surprise, It's like, yes, it was frustrating. She couldn't find the house of her dreams, but it turned out that she was a refugee. And that when she was young, she came to the United States when she was maybe 10. And home meant something very different to her. And she didn't make any connection between the process of what was going on and her difficulties in this decision. And this is true. The next day she called me and said she had found a house, put a bid in it, the bid was accepted, and she was going to take it. It was the door opened. And we have seen this in so many different ways with people where the horses tap into this deeper feeling that is not cognitive. It's not conscious. You can't create that awareness. And it just comes up, and then you become aware, and then it becomes clear, and then you can start to change.
So you say she went from one end of the round pen to the other. So was the horse following her? Was she riding the horse? Was she where was the horse and all that?
The horse could do whatever the horse wanted. The horse was showing to the facilitator that was one of mine, piece of my work, was showing us what was going on, what her responses were. So in other words, the horse is our master teacher. We look at them, and based on how they're responding to the person, that it tells a story. For example, one of the horses, when people are talking above here, it's all in their head. They've told the story, they've told the trauma, they've so many times that they're disconnected from the feeling and emotion of it. I've seen a horse just walk away. It's blah, blah, blah. Boring.
Yeah.
The minute you say, well, how are you feeling? How did you feel about that? And they drop into their body and the feeling of it, that's interesting to the horse. That's a language that they understand.
So then they come back over.
And then they'll literally come over sometimes and listen.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
That gives me chills just thinking about that.
I've seen the horses where someone is releasing, they're finally opening up and allowing themselves to feel the uncomfortable, the hurt, the trauma, and they're crying and letting it go, which is such an important process to healing.
Yeah.
That I saw a horse come around and put its head right on this person's chest.
Oh.
And literally hold them up.
Oh my gosh.
So, over time you see these things that are just so surprising, but they're really not once you start to work with them. But I'm always like, when you do it, you think, wow, that's incredible.
So I could see where a lot of organizations, a lot of nonprofits, even businesses maybe, would want to, I don't know, kind of partner with you or have people come out because you could help their people.
Yeah, and exactly. And that's why when we decided to go on our own, we decided to expand in a way to offer a program called Better with Horses. And that could be anybody with anything. We can always be better, right? It can be a lifestyle issue. It can be a decision. It could be teamwork. getting your team to function better and
Oh, yeah.
communicate.
Yeah, that would work.
We did a program, we ran it as a pilot with people who were sighted, had lost their vision, and were now legally blind. And
Oh, golly.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the Better with Horses program. It was designed to be over 10 weeks, where they would come once a week into the arena with the horses, and we would do work there. And then once a week, they would have an online individual coaching session, because things happen the horses bring up a lot of stuff.
Okay. Well, that's good.
And some of it is individual. So it works in a group and works as an individual, and then we come back together. But it starts with, in the first session, with trust. Because literally, it's working with the horses, learning to work with the horses, which makes it fun and interesting. And then you end up realizing you're learning more about yourself than you thought you would going into it. So to work with a horse, they have to trust you. They're prey animals.
Mm.
They're the ones that get eaten.
Yeah.
And so if you're going, oh, I'm not sure about this, I've never worked with a horse, I'm afraid, you can see the horse responding to that, because why should they follow you? Why should they listen to you if, you're not sure? Why should they be?
Yeah.
And so that goes, do you trust yourself? Because until you trust yourself and you know your boundaries, you know what makes you feel safe and protected and what doesn't, well, it's hard to get a horse to trust you.
That is just fascinating. So I could see where this could work with veterans, PTSD issues, as well as all kinds of things, like the lady who needed to make a decision about buying a house.
Yeah, I mean, it's, there really are no boundaries for this.
Clearly.
It's wherever you kind of need to go to heal. And it's interesting in veterans, because on Veterans Day, we're going to be announcing a program that we're going to be doing in the coming up in the spring, which is for women veterans.
Oh, right.
And we're working with, we really believe in collaboration with other groups, helping them serve their populations and their clients. So we're working with the California chapter of the Paralyzed Veterans of America, and with the Barbara Giordano Foundation, who specifically does work with women veterans, where we're going to announce the program applications for people in this area of women veterans who would like to participate, help us work with the horses, and pilot this program.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Do you think that very many communities have a program like this or a project?
Well, there's more and more work with horses that doing this kind of work on mental, physical, emotional well-being.
Really?
This program is a little bit more in depth. A lot of them are over 2 weekends, maybe a retreat over a weekend. What we're looking for and what we're interested in is life changes, transformative change, not just awareness. Because we all know that there are things we should be doing to be healthier. There are things we should be working on, or things that are blocking us and holding us back. Knowing it is not doing it. And so, yeah, you're laughing.
It's true. It's so true, isn't it?
So true. So true. So what we are doing are teaching tools for people to self-coach when the program is over, to self-regulate, to things that they can do in any situation to self-coach. Yeah, we want them to learn how, when life has its up and downs, that you can start to do things and have more control over the way that you behave, that you react.
So, wow, this is just so amazing. And so, when a person is on your website, they can find a place where they can donate, make a tax-deductible donation to your great work. I bet you need financial donations.
Yeah, we do. Yes, we do. You go to our website, and we also have ways to sponsor a horse
Okay.
where
Oh,
people
yeah.
can become part of one of the horses that do this work, their community circle, by helping sponsor them.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, and then they also have a chance to be part of that horse's journey because they get special notices about how the amazing things the horses do in the programs with people. In the program that we did with Blind Fitness, for example, one of the horses was just totally connected to their person in a way that surprised us because we always called him the teen, and he would sort of have his own ideas about doing something, but somehow he recognized that she was different and that he needed to watch out for her. And one of the volunteers said, "Okay, I think I'm making this up, but I've seen it now a couple weeks in a row that he is actually hurting her and getting between her and another horse when he thinks that she needs to be protected because he sensed that she wasn't picking up when a horse was getting too close or coming because he felt that because she couldn't see. And so there was one exercise we're doing because what the blind people did in Blind Fitness, and people can go to our website and see a video about the program and also some of the participants talking about it, is that we were teaching them, they go through an obstacle course. They came in day one, put their canes aside. 8 weeks later, they were walking the horses unassisted through a obstacle course with only a volunteer next to them, talking to them with their voice in case they needed to adjust. And so one of the obstacles was that you told the horse to stay, you had hold down to the lead line, you told them to stay, and you walked away to the end, like 6 feet away, and the horse would stay. And so she was asking the horse to stay, and this horse, who was the one who's usually kind of our Ferdinand and unfocused and doesn't pay attention, was staring at her, really trying to understand what she wanted. And they worked at it, and finally she could walk back, and he would just stay there. And then all of a sudden, before she got to the end of the line, horse came right up to her. And we said, "What happened? What were you thinking?" And she was thinking, "Oh, I'm so glad he's listening to me. I can't wait till he comes to me." And she said the minute she said that, he came to her in her mind.
Oh, my
not
gosh.
out loud, he came to her. So that connection and bond between people and horses is so underestimated.
This is just incredible. So here, you take these horses that have been abused and abandoned and all that, mistreated, and you tend to them and bring them up to a higher level of health. And simultaneously, they're helping people who need all kinds of help that's not visible, really.
Yeah, it's all about kindness and compassion. I mean, we don't have to teach the horses about trauma or what that's about. They know it, they've lived it, they've felt it, and they can feel that in other people. They feel those difficulties. And what we show them is that humans can be kind and compassionate and caring. and they can relax and be calm and at peace. That's their natural state. And that when we bring people into that in an environment where they can be relaxed and calm, that transfers back and forth, that communication. It's
Oh,
really
Linda,
beautiful.
this is just so fascinating and so important. Thank you for sharing this wonderful work with our audience and for continuing to do it.
Yes, so we ask people to please go to our website. You'll find out about events there that you can come that are fun, like meditation with the horses. We've done yoga with the horses. We're going to have classes coming up where people can learn to paint horses,
Oh, golly.
all kinds of fun stuff. But that helps the horses earn their hay money.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Well, thank you so much for being on our show, and thank you for joining us on 805 Focus, and we'll see you next time.